Oh, totally meant to film on the flight, but I forgot. And we're already on Tuesday. Back to the weekly vlog. Here we are arriving at the Hong Kong airport. And as always, we can't wait to see Rosie.
My baby.
And it is hot now.
Oh, it's really hot.
Yeah, crazy hot. It's 5 in the morning, but it's already 26 degrees. I'm dressed for Canada.
Do you think we can be better? Do you think we can be better? Do you think we can be better?
It's okay, it's Rosie here. Come here!
Hoping it might pass by. It just gets me down. The charms of driving a Porsche to work. And all I little voices are what is left. And I wonder, do you think we can be better? Do you think we can be better?
It's crazy because it feels like everything has happened and nothing in the past 2 weeks, and like my life's flipped upside down, but it's also at a standstill because I've just been on a roller coaster of emotions, and everything besides my like personal or family life has been on hold. As I went straight to my family as soon as my grandfather passed away, and yeah, straight from the airport to my grandma's house. And it's just been a roller coaster of emotions, from fear to anger to shock to sadness to happiness, and just being really, really busy with family. I feel like a lot of it hasn't even hit me yet, and it will now that I'm alone here in Hong Kong. Not alone, I have friends, and I have Tom and Rosie, of course, but like me in Canada was just so busy with all of my family members. I don't even know what I'm gonna make next. And I've given myself like 2 weeks off so that I can just have that time to myself and be with my family. And yeah, I didn't want to like cry on camera. I know a lot of you guys come here for a source of positivity and happiness, and I always want to be that place, but at the same time I rely on this place a lot to talk when I'm feeling a certain way, or I'm upset about something, or something's on my mind. So I'm not sure if I want to just talk about things. I just want to like jump back into routine. I think that's the best thing for me right now, is to like go to the gym, get out into the city. I made a nail appointment before I left. I'm gonna go and get my nails done. I want some fresh spring nails. This is the first time someone really close to me has passed, so I'm just learning how to deal with this. I've never done it before. But yeah. This one's gonna keep me busy, eh? You are. It's gonna be good. You're a good girl, and I missed you. Hi, again from the last place. I left you guys, the place I've been for 24 hours. I got nothing done yesterday, nothing. Thank you. Thank you. I just feel so lost and so exhausted. All I want to do is sleep, and that's what I did. I went to the gym, showered, fell asleep, woke up, watched Game of Thrones, fell asleep again, woke up, watched dinner, and then fell asleep again until 6 this morning. So we're gonna try and do yesterday's plan again today. I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go get my nails done, and I'm gonna try and edit something. You listen so well. Yeah, hopefully today's gonna be a better day. Better and more productive day. Guys, I'm sorry, this vlog is gonna be a fail. I actually brought out my camera. I gave myself 2 weeks to
didn't want to film like this, but I just brought out my camera to try and go out and film something interesting. Got my nails done, but I didn't even take the camera out. I just don't feel like myself, and then when I'm out in publicly, I'll randomly start crying. All I want to do is stay home and sleep. I just feel so lost and stuck and sad. I just made another coffee so I can try and stay awake. But I just don't have any willpower to get anything done. I just wasn't ready.
Let's try this again.
Hello everybody!
I'm on the way to finally get my hair done. I'm so excited because it's been like this for far too long. My roots are really overgrown at this point, and I'm going back to my natural color. I can't wait to have a simple hairstyle because this I have to upkeep like every month. I usually like to do my hair every 6 months maybe to go to a salon. So can't wait for something more natural, more simple, and just an overall fresh new look. Back to darker. Hopefully everything's gonna go well today, and it will be. Ew, it's so bad from the back. That's what I've been looking like for so long, and I've just been wearing a ponytail because like when I put it down it's worse. Ew, yeah. I'm so ready.
But I think I might have your...
Done, I'm back home, and whoa, this is the darkest I've ever had my hair. It's like an ashy brown beige color I want to say right now, but it will get a bit warmer when I wash it because of the toner she used. She blended the colors really well. You can see. And she did in a few parts. First she did low lights throughout my whole head, and then she put like a little bit of highlights up here, and then she toned it with 2 different colors. One is a bit darker here and then a bit medium here, so that it can kind of grow out like a balayage. And then we did a little trim, and yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's quite different. I think I'm gonna have to get used to it a bit more, but I'm all for something fresh and new. I also went and grabbed some flowers after because we're shooting the lookbook tomorrow, and I want to get some tulips especially. Look at these, they're so pretty. Look at those colors. And then I also grabbed these. I think these are the cutest ever. Just different ones to put around the house. Hi. Hi. Well, that's a good sit. What do you need? Come. So now I'm just gonna try and arrange my outfits. I'm gonna try on everything and pick which ones we're gonna use tomorrow for the shooting, because everything needs to be really organized so that we can do it really quickly and efficiently, because I have to leave quickly to go to the airport in the afternoon to pick up Alyssa and Karam, so it's gonna all happen really fast. We got tamjai, samgo. These are potato noodles. They're so, how can I describe them? Like, bouncy and delicious. This is bamboo, cuttlefish bowl. This is like a mushroom, tofu skin, and it's in a numbing sort of sour soup. So good. Guys, I can't find any outfits. Oh, I found 3 I like, but I feel like I need at least 6 or 7 to make a lookbook possible. One package was supposed to arrive today and it didn't yet, and of the things I got, most of them just don't look how I thought they were gonna look in my head, or I don't have the right accessories maybe, or pants to match a shirt, for example. So I can't shoot it tomorrow. I need a bit more time. Everything was a bit too rushed. Plus it's gonna thunderstorm tomorrow, and my friends Alyssa and Karam are arriving tomorrow at like 5:30, which means I'd have to leave to the airport by 4. And if it's raining or thunderstorming, we'll keep having to stop because I plan to shoot outside because it's spring. I wanna do it in nature and stuff, and I just, yeah. So we'd have to probably keep stopping when it rains, and we would be on a time constraint. Just everything is like not going right. So I feel like the universe is just telling me to just wait. So I'll have to do it like after Alyssa leaves in a week, and I feel like it's getting pretty late for a spring lookbook at the same time. It's actually pretty much already summer here. It's like 30 degrees, but in like North America, Canada, where I'm from, it's still quite cool. I don't know. Let me know. Do you guys still want a spring lookbook, or maybe it will be kind of a mixture like spring, summer, or like things that you could layer if it's still cooler? I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow and seeing them. It's gonna be busy. It will keep my mind distracted, and just being around Alyssa is always uplifting and fun. And I'll get to do a lot of touristy things and show them around a lot of good food and like different places. So I feel like you guys will get to see a lot of interesting things too. I'll be getting out more. So that's good. All right, I need to clean up. I think we might go to the gym. Sorry for the mess that this vlog is in. I decided to just leave it the way it is and upload it because I feel like it's an accurate representation of my week. I was going through a ton of emotions and trying to cope with loss, something that is really new to me, of this magnitude, of someone really close to me. I didn't end this vlog, and I don't want to end it negatively, and I feel like it wasn't even going anywhere, so I want to have this talk with you guys. Plus I got a lot of messages saying that you guys are going through the same sort of thing, or you have been and you're still struggling, or someone in your family's sick and you're worried about this. So I just want to sit down and have this talk, let you know how I'm feeling, because I'm feeling much better now. I went through a really dark phase where I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to sleep, and when I would try to, like, I would be out with Tom and we would be going somewhere fun, and I would just break down and start crying in the car, and then I would just go back home and sit here again. And I knew that it wasn't good for me. I should get out and I should get back to my routine, but I couldn't help it, and I kept digging myself into this deeper, darker hole. And then I started looking up videos and podcasts on how to deal with grief, and I came across the idea of going through 5 main stages, and not everybody goes through them. Not everybody goes through them in this order, and some periods take longer than others, but that sort of comforted me, knowing that the way I was feeling was okay, and it would change into something else later maybe. And then in the end, now I realize that this is what really happened. So I went through phase 1, denial, and then it's anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Shock came to me right away, because when it happened, I got the phone call. I found out my grandfather's passing away, my Jaju, we call him. And it all happened within 1 hour. I was on Skype. I was just watching him, trying to talk to him, listen to my family, and everything happened really, really fast. And I stayed in shock when I got home, pretty much up to the funeral when I saw him in person for the first time. I definitely had moments of anger in between that, because I was wondering, like, why didn't the doctors do this? Why did this happen? Why did they send him home with a pneumonia the night before? He should have stayed in the hospital. Yeah, I just felt really angry of how everything happened, but the truth is the doctors did everything they could, and they were amazing. I knew that in the back of my head, but I think I just felt a lot of anger. The bargaining phase definitely happened when I was home with my family, and we were talking about memories and going through photos for the boards for his funeral. During that time, I felt moments of happiness and gratefulness, and I felt even closer to him. I learned a lot about how he was before I was born through my family members, and then more at the funeral when his friends and the extended family came. Yeah, I learned a lot of things that I didn't know. So I feel like I know him even better now, and I feel even closer to him now. And then when I came back to Hong Kong, the depression hit, and that's the last week you saw in this vlog. I felt really overwhelmed and lost and lonely and just sad. After that, Alyssa came to Hong Kong, and I think that's when I slowly moved into acceptance. I started going out with her and her husband and Tom. And I really remember the moment when I felt like things were gonna be okay and I felt really happy. It was when we were out at the Big Buddha and the sun was shining, there was so much going on, there was music, we were like trying on these fun hats, and I was vlogging again, and I just felt like myself again. So I do feel that those phases are pretty accurate, and I did go through all of them. I feel much better now. I'm not really crying. I'm back to my regular routine pretty much. I'm busy, but at the same time, I still have the heartache. I still think about him all the time. I still feel like a part of me is missing, and I don't think that will ever go away. And I don't want it to, because I want him to live on. And I think that the best way for someone to live on is to keep talking about them. I noticed that when I get together with someone or I talk to someone, they'll sort of say sorry for your loss, and then they'll move on and avoid the subject. And sometimes it would come up, like we were eating seafood with Karen and Alyssa one night, and Tom was eating this crab leg, and he was opening it, and he goes, oh, someone taught me the right way to open it. It's like this, and he was showing us. And I was like, oh, that was Jaju, because I remember we used to always do seafood nights at their place. And then Tom immediately was like, oh, sorry. But no, like I feel really grateful for those times when I can talk about him, and when I can remember these moments. So I decided today I want to share with you guys a little bit more about him. I want to tell you his story. I want to tell the story of one of my heroes, my grandfather. We call him Jaju. It's Polish for grandfather, although we don't even spell it in the Polish way. And he's not Polish, he just likes to be different. Which summarizes him perfectly. He comes from New Brunswick, which is the east side of Canada, and he loves anything to do with food or cooking. Whenever you would visit him, he would pull out everything in his cupboard and make sure you're always eating or drinking. And he has this famous soup that he's made for as long as I can remember. Everyone is obsessed with it and would fight over it. And yeah, I'm gonna miss that soup.
This is like the broth of my childhood. Brings back like memories. There's always certain smells or tastes or like songs that make you think of your childhood or different times of your life. This is my childhood.
Other than that, he really loves anything with a motor. Boats, motorcycles, and cars. He's obsessed with them. If I was to describe him in 3 words, it would be hardworking, different, borderline goofy maybe. He would always come up with these songs, or he says things differently, like he would pronounce things with funny accents, or he would use the wrong words, like he'd always say thank you instead of please. Just little things like that that would always make us laugh.
Happy birthday to you. We're gonna have a party.
We are tonight.
And he's very proud. He would always fully dress himself no matter what. Even in his later days, I remember I would sleep there and I would come up early in the morning because I had jet lag, and when I would make a noise and he'd hear me, he would quickly like get up and take off the oxygen mask that he would wear at night and like stand up and be fully dressed, because he would go and shower first and then go to his chair and put that on. He doesn't know I saw him like that, but yeah, he just always wanted to be fully put together, and he was proud of the way he looked, but he was also proud of everyone around him. He would always be the first one to like all of my posts. He would share everybody's stuff, and he would always send me news articles of things people were doing, like his family or friends if they were in there. Yeah, he just really supported and was proud of everybody around him. My earliest memories of him can be linked to 3 main things he taught me in life. One was drawing or art. I would always get him to draw for me when I was little. I remember him drawing these Disney princesses, and I loved them so much, and that's what inspired me to start drawing and just start creating things. And also business. He was a businessman through and through, an entrepreneur. He had his own business, and I think he kind of instilled those values onto me at a young age
in the little things he did. Like he used to have this big chair that he would always sit on. That was his chair. We called it Jaju's chair. And he would sit down, and sometimes we would go there and we would, I don't know how we discovered this, but we lifted up the cushion and there would be some spare change, like nickels and dimes and quarters and stuff like that left, because it would fall out of his pockets, and we would collect them. I definitely know now that he did that on purpose. Later he would add them when he knew we were coming, but we would collect them and we'd save them in our piggy banks. And I would always save up my money to buy Barbies. I was obsessed with them. So I would save money like that, or I would put on these little shows. I was always there because he was like my father to me. My parents had to work, so they would drop me off there for my grandparents to babysit me in the morning, or I would just stay there. Yeah, I feel like he's like my father. But I would put on shows too. I would have my sister and me, Alex. We would dress up. We would go up to my grandmother's closet. One time we came down in these maid outfits that my grandfather had bought for my grandmother, and they were really shocked. But yeah, we would perform, and then I would get them to pay for the show. Or I would create these things out of Play-Doh or whatever things I could find around the house, and I would sell it to them, all to save up to buy a Barbie. But yeah, he really, like, I don't know, he kind of encouraged this business entrepreneurial mind, I think, of mine. The third thing I think I really learned from him is that actions speak louder than words. So my grandfather is a person of very little words and very little emotions. In fact, I think I've only seen him cry 3 times in my life, and they were all towards the end, like sort of recently in the past couple of years. So my Jaju was raised to never cry or never show emotions. His father always told him to toughen up and be a man, and always told his mother not to baby him. He did this through good times and bad times. He did this when he was 13 and he lived in his car and was a barber. He would go to a vending machine at night. He would make like 25 cents or something like that. And someone told me he would go to a vending machine at night to buy peanuts for dinner. So he would use 5 cents for the peanuts and save the 20 cents. And from there he saved up and saved up, and he got a pretty nice car that he did up himself. And then he started working as a mechanic. My grandma and him got married at the age of 16 and 19. He was 19, and during that time he was working 3 jobs so she wouldn't have to, so she could raise the kids. When he was a mechanic, he started talking to someone and then sold them a car by chance, and from there that dealership decided to hire him as a sales, and he worked himself up to sales manager. And then from there he saved enough to start his own dealerships, and that's what my family does. So he was sort of the pillar of my family. I've only ever known him as a successful car salesman and business owner, because he never ever told us about the struggles he had before that. I only just recently learned about them at his funeral, and yeah, that's because he never really told us about his past. He always just liked to watch and listen. I still wonder if there was things that he left unsaid if he knew that this was gonna happen, because it happened so sudden. He had 3 heart attacks, and no one saw that coming because his heart was one of the only organs that was healthy. But at the same time, I also know that he kind of knew this was gonna come. Maybe he didn't know it'd be so soon, but he knew at one point, because he started to talk a lot more towards the end, and he started to become more emotional. So this was when I saw him cry, and there was 3 times. One was the time we went to one of his favorite restaurants. He loves to support local businesses that are like small family-owned restaurants. He always goes out and tries to discover new ones and then bring all his family and friends to see them, and he'll be a regular at their places. There's a lot of these places that have known him for a long, long time. Some of when he started his car dealership way back, and yeah, just some for years, and he's become really good friends with them. When I walked into Pascal's, it's in Oakville, Ontario, if you guys are in that area, I was immediately greeted by the owner, and it was my second time in there, but he started talking about my grandfather and how much he loved and admired him, and I could immediately feel this friendship that was just built on so much loyalty and trust and time and good food. As we were leaving that night, and my Jaju was saying bye to the restaurant owner, he had these tears in his eyes, and I remember seeing them and feeling really sad, because I knew that he was thinking it might be the last time he was gonna see him. But I also didn't want to believe it, because I
I saw the fight in him and I saw that he was doing well. The next time was during that same trip to Canada. It was the night I was leaving. We went to another one of his favorite restaurants right before I was heading to the airport. And as we said goodbye, he started tearing up again. And that's when he said, "I love you," for the second time. And I don't know why I had the privilege of hearing that from him, because he never said it even to my grandma or his own mom. I just had a little meltdown because that was the first time my grandfather, I'm gonna cry again. My grandfather's ever said he loved me. Like, he just doesn't do it. I think my whole life. I still don't really know why. I feel like maybe it's because I had less of his famous pots of soup, or because, yeah, he just never knew when the last time would be, or he was just always scared that that would be the last time I'd see him, and maybe he thought he'd have more time to tell the others. But yeah, it's something that I'm always gonna wonder. The third and last time is something that I'm always gonna remember. I keep picturing it in my head, and that was the time he was passing away. He had 3 heart attacks. They were keeping his heart rate up on medication. He had really low blood pressure and it was slowly dropping and dropping. And I remember as the heart rate monitor was going down and down and everything was happening, my family was going, he started crying. And I can't get that picture. Full streams of tears were coming down his face, and I keep holding on to that because it makes me feel like he could hear me, because he couldn't talk back. A lot of the oxygen wasn't getting to his brain because of the heart attacks, and I was only there on Skype, so I just keep hoping he could hear my voice so I got to say bye. And then him crying kind of made me feel like he was telling us that he could hear us and he loves us. But I just remember him crying, and I remember hearing the sound of the most painful sound I've ever heard. It was my dad screaming, but having these sort of gut-wrenching vomiting sounds at the same time. I could just feel his pain through the phone. So all I can remember is this moment. My sister then dropped my phone. I saw him crying. My dad started making these sounds, and then my sister dropped the phone, and then the heart rate monitor was just slowly stopping. People always say you never know what's gonna happen, so tell people how you feel about them. Tell them that you love them. And I can easily say that's a lesson that I got from this. And it sort of is, but it also isn't. People express things in different ways. It could be through being a good listener. It could be through working hard and providing for those they love around them. Through the little things they do, like bringing you a pot of soup when you're sick. And sometimes the things people say isn't even the truth. They just say what you want to hear. And if I look back, I think it's the things he didn't say that... It's the things he didn't say that was giving us signals that he was tired. It was the posts on Facebook, the couple of times that I did see him cry because he was scared and he couldn't hide it. We all always knew that he loves us because of the things he did and the way he'd make us feel. And I think if you don't focus on what you want from someone or what you want to hear from them, you'll get their message clearer. I'll always cherish him for the little bit that he did say, but I think what I'll cherish more is the things that he didn't and the things that he showed instead. So yeah, that's it. And these lessons and his story will always live on through me, my family, or future generations, and I can still feel him around me all the time. It's pretty crazy because the day he died, the same time that he was having a heart attack, I don't know which number it was, but I remember it was one of them. Tom and I were hiking, and at one point in the hike, that same time, it was like 4 p.m. this butterfly came, and it was on the stair, and Rosie was there, and it was just circling around Rosie, and it would land right beside her. And I was like, what the heck? That's so weird that a butterfly is not flying away from a dog. It would normally be scared of it. And it would just keep circling around her and stay near us. And then it stayed on me and it landed on me, and it just stayed on my back for a while, and it just kept following us and circling us, and I've never seen that before. And Tom posted it, and a lot of people were saying that in their country, when like a brown insect visits you, it means someone passed. And they said that to Tom as he posted that. This was before I knew anything was going on, because I found out about things later that night. I don't know if I really believe in it or not. I kind of do now, and I think I kind of find comfort in that. The other night too, I was sitting here watching TV, the window behind you was open, and there was this big brown moth on the window, and it just stayed there for like a good 10 minutes, and I looked at it and I felt like Jaju's watching me, and it just, I don't know, it made me think of him and brought a smile to my face. Thank you guys so much for listening to this and just being here for me, and I'm sorry this video is so dark. I started it when the sun was going down, and now it's completely down and my camera is up as bright as possible, but yeah, this was really therapeutic. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.